All right, let's jump right in. We're going to look at just one single image today. But trust me, this picture, it opens up some huge questions about life, about community, and, well, about the paths we all decide to take.
So here it is. Take a look. You've got this single penguin all by itself walking away from everything you think a penguin needs, right? The ocean, the rest of the flock, all of it. And it's just heading towards this massive empty landscape. It's really striking, and it just makes you wonder, what on earth is going on here? Why?
Now to figure this out, you might think we'd call up a biologist or something, right? Nope. Our guides on this little journey are, get this, a group of 8 to 10-year-old students. Yeah, they're the ones who really dug into this image, and honestly, their thoughts are what this whole explainer is all about.
Okay, so first things first. Before we can even begin to understand why you'd walk away, we kind of have to get a handle on what's being left behind. And that's exactly where the students started, with this idea of community.
And they landed on this really simple but powerful idea: all humans live in a community. I mean, it's true, isn't it? We're social beings. Just like those penguins, we live in groups, we have families, we build societies. That's our baseline. It's where we all start.
And this really lays out the whole dilemma visually, doesn't it? You've got the lone penguin on its journey on one side, and on the other, you see the warmth, the connection of the flock. It's a perfect picture of the choice that this penguin seems to be making. Do I go it alone, or do I stick with the group?
All right, so if being in a community is just our natural thing, why would anyone choose to leave? What would make a penguin do that? And asking that question, well, it takes us into some pretty heavy territory, like change and what it means to be lonely.
And I love how the students frame this. They didn't just ask, why do we leave? They asked, why does the community push us away? See the difference? That's a huge shift. It hints that maybe leaving isn't always about you just deciding to go. Sometimes it's a response to the group you're in.
And their answer? Wow, it's so simple and so deep. Being different can lead to leaving. Just being different. They got that it takes guts, to do your own thing when you don't quite fit in. They understood that when you start walking a different path, that gap between you and everyone else, it can just get wider and wider until you're finally on your own.
And this all circles back to a fundamental truth these kids pointed out. Leaving the flock. That's a massive change. But here's the kicker. They figured out that change isn't some weird event that happens now and then. It's the one thing that's always happening. It's the only constant, really.
Okay, this next part. This is really the core of the whole thing. If our penguin is leaving safety, leaving the known, what in the world is it walking toward? And that question pushed these students to think about one of the biggest questions of all: what's our purpose?
And here's the question they put on the table. Are we here just to survive, find food, stay safe, make it to the next day? Or is there more to it? Are we supposed to live life to the fullest, to have adventures, to really experience things? Which one is it, and why?
What's so brilliant here is that the kids didn't see this as an either-or choice. Not at all. They saw it as a process. It's not surviving versus living. They realized surviving is the foundation. It's step one. You absolutely have to get your needs met first. But that's just the launch pad. The real adventure, that comes next.
So one student put it like this, which is so practical but also so hopeful. First, we must look to survive. Afterwards, if we can, we should live life to the fullest. It's like, okay, handle your business first, get the basics sorted, then, once you're safe and sound, you've earned the shot to go for something more, something bigger.
But then another student came in with this beautiful idea that ties it all together. They said, while living life to the fullest, we also survive. Maybe it's not a two-step process. Maybe when you're really out there, living, chasing that adventure, you're also doing what it takes to survive. The two things are happening at the same time. They're woven together.
So, wow, we've talked about community, leaving the flock, loneliness, change, and the very meaning of life, all from a picture of a penguin. So what's the big takeaway from these incredible young thinkers?
Well, it really boiled down to these 3 key ideas. First, be conscious. Pay attention to the world and where you fit into it. Second, have awareness of yourself, what you want, what you need. And then, the big one, take that knowledge and actually shape the course of your life for yourself. Don't just follow the flock, build your own path.
And that brings us right back to where we started. Back to this lone penguin, and really, back to us. Maybe its journey looks a little extreme.
But we all have our own mountains to climb, our own empty horizons to face. We all have those choices to make. So, I'll leave you with the same question. What does your journey look like?